that child, for them to live a life of fulfillment, because you see, purpose brings about fulfillment, and we have so many people living lives that are not fulfilled, earning well, but still there is something that is missing. But if you are able to live, a purposeful life, then your life becomes so easy, even to do everything, to go about everything. Yes.
From the streets of Africa to the screens of the world, karibu to the ENVILA Show. I'm your host, OJ Mwenyewe, and the show is called ENVILA Show. First of all, before we dive in, I'd like you to subscribe, I'd like you to comment, and I'll ask you also to tell others about the show. So today we have a very, very special guest. He's going to introduce himself, and we'll dive into the topic. Karibu.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
My name is Alex Miringu, and I'm an author, a political visionary ni kizungu mingi ya ya nimejaribu kisiasa kidogo, kura hazikutosha. And I'm also a youth leader. And that is just me in 3 words.
At me in 3 words. So viewers, we have a very learned, powerful guest. Nimeshukuru sana Mr. Alex. So leo I'd like us to get into umeshaji introduce, which tumefeel bila hata viewers I'll give you an opportunity to give them your handles, how they'll reach you as the show go on. So today our topic is we're going to talk about from passion to impact. A question whereby me personally, when I got this SMS, I was very curious. From passion to impact, what does it mean? Now I'll ask you my first question is this: what is passion to you? What is passion?
Well, for me, I think passion is the innate enthusiasm that actually drives us, what makes you wake up every day, that it is something, the enthusiasm from inside. So it's what drives us, what makes us wake up every day, what makes us, have, something to live for. But I always say you cannot, passion is good, but passion is incomplete without purpose.
Wow.
So I always say that you need to know your purpose so well for it to be driven. You see, like, passion fuels purpose.
Passion fuels purpose.
Yes. So it gives, like, for you to understand, like, the fuel, for you to understand passion very well without really knowing your purpose, it is just like what our Chief Justice called hot air.
Hot air. I remember the issue of hot
You remember the hot air issue?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So it's hot air, whereby you're just passionate, but what drives that passion? So to every young, old person listening to us this day, I would like to tell them that before passion, and passion also drives us to purpose. Your passion can also drive you to purpose. And that is what, like, for me, before I knew I wanted to do politics, there's something I used to do when I was a child. I used to admire parliamentary proceedings.
Wow.
You can imagine a child. Instead of watching cartoons, for me, I would just sit down and watch parliamentary proceedings. That was...
So you're like, as in, you'll go to ile time ya KBC, it was in KBC.
Yes.
As in, they're showing parliament session and you're
parliament sessions, and I'm there watching. And my parents would really wonder, what kind of a child is this? You should be watching cartoons. Easy ni nini una watch, And it really got to a point where my parents were and my siblings were like, we don't want Alex, wakati wa TV.
anaona program. By the way, kusema kweli, the were time hiyo nini KBC ikionyesha parliament, we was to switch off automatically. Yani kama na video, remember VHS,
Yes.
kaona DVD, VC, whatever, na switch off.
Yes, so for me, I used to love that. And you see, for you to really get to your passion,
Yes.
you need to unveil or revisit that inner child, the inner child in you. What really drove you when you were young? When you were a child, what really made you feel alive? So you need first to visit the younger you, because there's a secret that the younger you was so free that the passion the God ameweka ndani yako, he had put it even before you were born. So when you are a child, you realize this potential, you realize these different passions, and out of this passion is when you can able to tell what your purpose is.
Wow. So what I'm getting here, as a parent, this is something I'm noting. As a parent, it's good to know the passion of your child so that you can start nurturing it when they're young.
Definitely. And that is the problem most parents do. Okay, education is good,
Yes.
but it's not everything. Not in this kind of environment we've grown in, where we were told education is the key, but when time came, we found welded doors.
Which I'll get you.
So we need to understand that actually, parents need to understand and to see, what is my child passionate about? Is it music? Why don't you invest in that? As much as this child will still go do education, pursue academic goals and all that, at the end of the day, that child, for them to live a life of fulfillment, because you see, purpose brings about fulfillment, and we have so many people living lives that are not fulfilled, earning well, but still there is something that is missing. But if you are able to live, a purposeful life, then your life becomes so easy, even to do everything, to go about everything. Yes.
Wow, that one. I believe even the viewers, you have learned something. You have totally, to my, you have totally defined that point. Now, I'll give you a scenario, which I think it will give me to question number 2. Let me give you a scenario. Let's call him Eric. Eric, when he was young, alikuwa anapenda football. He used to watch akina Ronaldo, he used to play akina Messi and all that. Now, Eric, during the COVID pandemic, he started doing some graphic designs. He started doing things like those Photoshop. Now, every time he designs something, people are like commenting on some, this is it. Now, as we talk, can we say, now as we talk, Eric is now a graphic designer. Now it's his passion. Now, to you, from experience, do you believe that passion you can is it inbuilt, ama it comes out after some trials, error, and because of survival, it gives us the passion in you. You get to know your passion.
Okay. Wow, that's a good question. And as for you to know what you're really passionate about, I've given you one scenario where you first need to, revisit your inner child, try to see what you were passionate about when you were young, what you really loved and all that. That is one. 2, you need to, I would say, do not fear to try. Okay? Because the problem is, most of the young people, or most people fear trial. They generally fear trial. You want to try something, but because you're afraid of failure, you don't want to try it. When you find yourself you want to interest, there's an interest in, you have an interest in something, you need to give it a trial. Give it a trial. You never know, because out of that is when you will realize what you really want in your life. So for the case of James, where he was good in art, and then people are like, clapping for him, this is good, this is it, but is that enough? Is that enough? Because you see, uh, he is passionate about maybe drawing, and maybe drawing is what makes him alive and all that. For the case of James, what I would ask him, does drawing, leave alone the people celebrating you and all that, does drawing make you feel complete? Does drawing make you feel full again? Does drawing make you feel alive again? And then from there is when we can be able to know whether it is just something you're good in, or something, you can be good at something but you're not passionate about it. Like I'm good at I can be good at eating, but it doesn't mean that's what my passion is. Yes. So that is it. Have I answered your
Yeah,
question?
you have answered it.
Mhm.
What I've gotten, first of all, do not fear. That's number one.
Yes.
Do not fear. The audience, if you can get out of something out of this, do not fear to try. Alafu, I'll also say, with this Eric person, you have advised him to at least to know, is it people who are forcing him to be there, or is it truly input?
Yes.
So
Like for me, I will tell you, for example,
Mhm.
I'm a son of a pastor,
Yes.
and I've been raised in the church setup. And while growing up, people, because I've seen my pastor preach, I've seen people do that, and I'm not saying preaching is bad. It's good, you know. And people really wanted to put me in that cocoon where you'll become a pastor, you're the next pastor, and I was like, but when I was talking to God was telling me something else. No, this is not it. This is not what I really want you to do. This is not what the area I want you to pursue, and that whole thing changed, because for you to really know your purpose, if you don't go back to God, because he's your creator, he's the one who understands you better than yourself, so I when I prayed and God told me, no, I've called you to the mountain of governance. Okay, so pursue that. And sometimes it looks unreachable, unrealistic, but it is because I know this, that God has called me to this. I will keep on trying and trying and trying again and again and again, until what God promised me, I must see it come to pass, But the problem is, we grow in a certain environments, and those environments define us. Okay, I agree. Like becoming a pastor is not bad. It's a good thing. Actually, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to the community. It's a good thing, to my family. It's a good thing. And it sounds even good when even to God. But if that is not what God created me for, I'm missing the mark. I'm missing it. Yes. So uh, I grew up in such an environment. People, and I would preach, by the way, even when I was young. I would preach even in my primary school. I would preach, and but as time went by, when I was now asking God, is this really what you want me to do? Is this really what you have called me to? Well, I want to identify my purpose outside my parents, purpose, because our environment can define who we become, but that doesn't mean that is who we were meant to be. Yes. So people clapping for you because you're good at something. I can preach very well. I do preach even now, but I've refused to let that define me into that. Yes. So it might be good. You might be good at drawing, but is drawing enough for you? Does it make sense to you at the end of the day? Does it give you that satisfaction? Is it what really, when God created you, when God created you, is it what he really wanted you to do? Yes.
Thank you for that. Viewers, I'll still like to remind you the show, it's called ENVILA Show. I'm your host, OJ Mwenyewe, and I'll like to request you to continue sharing, give us your feedback, and subscribe. We have our very special guest, is called Alex. So Alex, I'd like us to go to question number 3, which I think one way or another you've answered it, but let me just read it for you. Because is passion enough? Why are some people broke and sin and burnt? Because there are some people who, let's say, for example, a musician, for example, that's the quickest part I can think of. He's passionate about music. Hiyo ndo something akilala akiamka is going to it. Lakini ukimwangalia, he's not meeting the bills. Every day rent, the stories are wasanii. So you as a let me call you as the whole, as the guest, what do you feel about, is passion enough to say, kunasema passion to pay the bills?
I would say passion is enough and passion is not enough. Passion is enough in senses, in this sense. What is the passion all about? Okay? Because you can be passionate about something, but it will take time before you reach there. I'm passionate about leadership, but leadership has not paid me even a cent to date. Actually, what I've done is invest even more to it. And that is what people fear. They fear to invest in passion or purpose. They fear to invest in it. They fear to, you want to just get into something and it gives you back, which is a problem. So if you're really passionate about something, I would say let the fruits be not the main aim, but just the reward. So if you enter, for example, I have also good musicians, my good friends who are musicians, and they're good at their thing, but you can see they enter into music and they suffocate it. What do I mean? You've entered into music, release maybe one music song or two, and then you want the music song to pay you. It will be very difficult because you need, first, there's something called marketing and distribution in music before even, and that is after you've already invested for audio production, video production. You've done all this, everything before even you have the product. There's so much money you've used, and now I have the money. I've gone to the studio, recorded, I've done a video, and this is a very expensive affair in between. And now I have a product.